Alright folks, I did it. 4K 30. I'm going to have to collage a whole bunch of 1080 60 files. And put this one up. Isn't that something? So with these concrete barriers, yeah, it's 55 miles an hour. Okay. So there is a 30-minute time limit, folks. So we're on the clock. So let's see how this handles. The 40 millimeter, okay? Basically, you get the same thing with the little hood with the 26 millimeter on an APS-C, depending where I put the camera. So where I got the camera, it doesn't slide at all. I think I did try the 50 millimeter on there, the f2.8. I've had put the 40 millimeter on an APS-C camera and gave me a 60, which was kind of interesting. That would be the max I go. I think the 50 millimeter is the best way. Of course, I put the 35 millimeter on, but that's a big lens too. So it's nice and cool in the cabin, 68 degrees. How's the volume? Does it sound pretty good? So I got the volume on automatic. It's supposed to keep it from the red. So it looks like it's doing a pretty good job. I'm also testing out the Z6 II to see if it overheats. It does a much better job than the Z30, I can say that much. It's a 24.2 megapixel camera, still good. I'm writing to the SD card. I did the same thing with the Z7 II. I use the CF Express, and it does overheat in the daytime. Nighttime, no. Same thing with Z30. They do real good at nighttime. Right now it's cool outside, 74 degrees, 68 in the cabin. I hope I have enough memory card in the camera. If not, I can always put another one in because I got the extra ones. This is just to show you the difference of the lenses. So the other one was only a 2.8, and it only went to 1/6 of the shutter speed. I put this lens on, and it automatically goes down to 130 f2. Interesting. So the lens does matter on the camera. If I had a 1.8 lens, it would go to 1.8. Now on a 26mm, the clouds did look more interesting. But you notice that when I put the 40mm on, you get less dash. You do see some detail in the clouds, but it's not as pronounced. What I'm also looking at is the glare. So if you put a filter on, it's like a stop, maybe 2 stops, so it's a lot darker. Let that car go fast. It's supposed to be 40 miles an hour. So it's pretty pitch black tonight. Take it nice and slow so I can see part of the city with this lens. There's a looks like the B is burned out on HEB. But I'm looking right down on the store, and man, it's it looks small from up here. Feels like a jet taking off. I put on cruise control. It's at 65 miles an hour right now. And it keeps it that speed, so you don't feel a slowdown or anything. Well, it did go up to 66. Now we go back to 65. Just go straight. I'll go through the city like I did earlier tonight. You know, if I was retired, I could do a lot of this stuff all the time. I would love that. Take pictures, go car vlogging. Just gonna have to make shorter clips or something. So I had me a Schlotzsky's large original sandwich right after work yesterday. Ate the whole thing, and I was starving. You know, sometimes when I'm doing these videos, I forget to eat. I've been losing weight a little bit. My mother's house is up for sale, so that's good. Everything on schedule. We hired a great contractor. He had to take down 2 ficus trees. Unreal. And they were humongous. In the back, it was encroaching on the foundation, so they had to get rid of that. But then in the front, it was away from the house, but man, it covered 2/3 of it, okay? But if you're going to sell a house, it has to be not in the front of the house. I offered to give him an old picture of it. He said, no, it has to be current. And he said, the tree has to come down. I says, man, I can't believe it. That house faces the south side, and I know it's going to be hot. But I'll tell you something, what he did on the inside, it was gorgeous. So here's the lights I like. I guess a lot of planes fly over this highway to go to a runway. I think that's why they have these lights. Yeah, that's right, because if you look left, it leads to the runway. Okay. That's how planes land. Interesting. So, I could put it on manual and have the same settings. You know, it's the 1/3 of the shutter speed, F2. I can't believe I couldn't change it with using the other lens. And that's what nobody ever talked about. So when I live stream, I have something to talk about. I think I'll live stream on Sunday. Because my relatives want to see me on Saturday. Well, my stepmother anyway. Saw my sister last week. Saw her and her family. Her husband was at work, my brother-in-law. So what do you think? I think it looks more dynamic if I came the other way, looking at these overpasses. So when you drive the highway, you get better mileage per gallon, but you waste more gas, if that makes sense, because you're driving longer, all right? But at least you're not stopping and going. So it looks like Well, it's a lot darker because there's less traffic. I don't know if you can see that green silo there, Quarry Market to the left. Should catch it on the right. 40 millimeters is still kind of wide for here. I think 50 millimeters is just right. There's no crop in a full frame camera unless you put a DX lens on it. I did have the 10 to 18, but nah. See, the thing is, when you put a crop lens on a full frame, you lose the megapixels. So like from a 45.7, you'll go to 20, so it's just like the same as an APS-C camera. That's why I went with a higher megapixel camera, like the Z7 II. But on a Z6 II, it bring it down to like a 10 or 12. And that's still good. I mean, look at the A7S III. I think that's a 12 megapixel camera. So more megapixels doesn't mean a better camera. It depends on how much light hits the sensor. So with the A7S III, 12 megapixel, they have bigger pixels, more light. More megapixels is more data. You can crop more. Ooh, 60 miles an hour. Slowing down. Okay, 60 miles an hour. I thought it was 60. Well, yeah, all these turns right here too. That's why. That is why. Yeah, so 60 miles per hour. I'll just stay in this lane. See, there's a car on the side of the road. Flat tire. There's the city coming into view. It'll get closer and closer. I did wash windshields, but I used the wrong cloth. I used a towel instead of a paper towel or something like that. So I left streaks. And I used the wrong towel too. They don't really dry that much. But I got a lot of the nets off. The dead nets, that is. That's a good thing, I guess. That way I can, when I get back, I can count all the gnats that I've killed on this run. So you see a lot of turns in this highway. There we go. There's the towers. And that's that. And we're going to get closer. Believe me, we will. And I think some fog's coming in. I should have a camera pointing to the side, you know, as you drive by. I like those purple lights though. There's the Alamo Dome to the left. There's Tower of Miracles to the right. I don't know if you can get to the top of it. HEB Plaza. Okay. Wonder if we can grocery shop at the Alamo Dome. 65 miles an hour. I'm going 60. I'll be getting off at street up here. Go to Houston or El Paso. Okay, about 6 minutes left. I can see some more clouds, which is nice. I think I'll get off the next one. Or I can get off at South Cross, I don't know. Like I did before. It was kind of like the halfway mark. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here. You know what? I'm gonna get off here. Should have gone off there. I really should have gone on New Braunfels. more minutes left. Oh boy. I think they're closed. Okay, so if you like this type of content, please give me a like, subscribe. Any questions or comments, put it down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay safe, keep smiling. Until next time, goodbye.